Kavet. You're listening to ALANUI MELE on PBS Hawaii.
So this is Meso, and you're listening to ALANUI MELE on PBS Hawaii. Peace.
Listen up, this is Danny One, and you're listening to Hawaii Hip Hop Histories via ALANUI MELE on PBS Hawaii. Check it out.
My introduction to Kutmaster Spaz was listening to him live mix on the radio. Eventually, I got to see him cut, trick mix, and juggle live, and was captivated by his ability to manipulate the turntables. His big personality trailblazed an even bigger path and introduced hip-hop to a larger audience with his entertainment company This and That. Still active as ever, his talents have carried on to his son, JoJo Flo. A Hawaii hip-hop icon, Derek Bulatau, a.k.a. DJ Kutmaster Spaz.
What's up?
I am so happy to have you here at PBS on ALANUI MELE. Just to the pure fact that, like, your name for me is iconic in Hawaii hip-hop. You know what I mean? When I was coming up,
that's
it was
huge.
Like, Spaz, turntables, Spaz on the radio. Like, I'm just tripping out. Like, but we'll get into that more often. But let's go into the beginning. So the beginning of any hip-hop person is their name.
Okay.
How did you get DJ Kutmaster Spaz?
So, growing up, I was bullied and teased because I was in special ed.
Okay.
I was picked on a lot, and they called me different names. One of them was Spaz, believe it or not. You know, I had bubblehead, fat boy, white boy, all kind of stuff. But I wanted, when I knew I was going to be a DJ, I wanted to pick a name that would always remind me where I came from.
Yeah.
Never forget where I came from. So I took Spaz, DJ Spaz. I won a small battle called Master of the Cut.
Right. What year was that Master of the Cut battle?
Was like 87. I was a senior.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
And real quick, what other DJs did you battle? Who'd you battle? Any names that are still like relevant?
Nah, it was like,
local kind?
You know what? That's the thing. A lot of them was from the mainland, like military or private school and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, there wasn't really like one. DJs wasn't really relevant, like in especially coming from Kanoe.
Yeah.
You either surf, you dance hula, you model.
Yeah.
Nobody DJ, so
model.
Yeah, so I don't
handsome
even know where
buggers.
these guys came from. You know what I mean? Like they're not around. They did not. Like it wasn't a small thing that I think like when somebody on I don't know.
Where was this? Where was it held at? This event?
It was in Kanoe Shopping Center.
Oh, it was in Kanoe?
Yeah. Kanoe Shopping Center.
So that's backyard then. You have to represent.
Yeah. It was a backyard thing and stuff like that. And you can't use no swearing, anything like that.
Do you remember the records you used in that set, by the way?
I did. It was It's Time.
Nice. That's Joe's on crew, right? No, It's Time.
It was on
wait.
what is it? Shoots.
Hashim.
Okay.
Okay.
Hashim, yeah.
Two DJs kind of figure out. I'm bad. Okay, anyway. So it's time.
Yeah.
So that's the juggle then.
Yeah, the juggle and a couple other stuff. Roxanne and
Did
stuff.
Did you cut in that set? Scratch in that set?
Yeah.
And so there was no. This is some DJ geek stuff right now we're talking about. What records did you use to cut? There was no and fresh on like there was no turntablist records.
So the On Fresh was on UTFO, Roxanne and stuff like that. So, it was just trying to show what you could mix and stuff like that, almost like DMC and stuff like that.
Okay, so that's the name of that battle was called again?
Master of the Cut.
And winning that Master of the Cut, that helped with your name.
Yeah, so Master of the Cut, it was like, something that just I stuck with me, but I didn't want to be Master of the Cut. I'm dyslexic, so I decided to call myself Kutmaster.
Oh, that's classic, bruh.
Yeah.
So you changed this teasing you Spaz.
Yeah.
You said DJ Spaz, then you won that, and Master of the Cut.
Yeah.
And dyslexic, so Kutmaster
Spaz, yeah.
Bruh. Hey, if that's not hip hop, I don't know what that is, dude. That's it.
Yeah.
That's some hip hop stuff right there.
Yeah.
So DJ Kutmaster Spaz, and that's how you got the name.
Correct. Yeah. It's funny when people say that full name. Hi, DJ Kutmaster Spaz. Most people call me Spaz.
Yeah.
Some people call me Cut or Kutmaster. But yeah, Kutmaster Spaz is what I went by and what I built on.
Yeah.
It's funny because I just love music. I used to be a popper. I started popping first
Okay,
from
that
10
was,
years
that was
old.
kind of your first introduction
To hip hop.
and
You know what I mean? And the element of dancing and
Yeah.
popping and stuff like that. I was fluffy, so I couldn't really get into breaking. Sorry. If I was to break, I'd break something.
who was your first person that you seen pop and lock?
You know
You
what?
remember?
I cannot even remember. I would have to say from Kanoe was Frank Punimoy and
Okay.
Michael Rita.
Was that Bits and Pieces?
Bits
Okay.
and Pieces, yes. They were like the hometown heroes. I mean, they were probably the best
Yeah.
poppers in Kanoe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would have to say them, Frank Punimoy. I mean, I started popping before I saw him, but when I saw him, I'm like, whoa, this is
Yeah.
new level stuff.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this unreal.
Are they a
that-
little older or around the same
Oh
age?
no, they're 2 years older than me.
Okay.
I think Michael Rita is 1 year older and Frank is 2 years older than me. Or maybe even more.
Yeah.
I think I was in middle school. He was in high school already.
Okay.
But they were innovative in lip syncing, painting their faces, their combos was
Nice.
unreal. I don't know if people know, but then they were real.
So you
deal.
went to King.
I went to Kapunahala King Castle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so yeah, I went to King, and then so did Frank and Mike went to King and Castle. I don't know what element. Try Ben Parker.
So when did DJing and the turntables come into play? If you're popping,
So there was a dance at my school.
okay,
and
this was high school or middle school?
I'm sorry. There was elementary school. Yeah, I
dance.
was 10 years
Okay.
old, and a DJ's turntable. I mean, he wasn't mixing
Yeah.
or cutting.
Yeah.
But I see him play music, and it moves the crowd. Like he play hip hop music, and people like throwing their hands in the air.
Yeah.
And he playing rock music, people jumping around,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
lovey-dovey music, slow music. I was like, wow, this is really cool. Like the DJ is like the maestro that controls the emotion.
Exactly. Yes.
So I wanted to become a DJ. So I ran home, told my mom, hey, Mom, I'm gonna be a DJ. He's like, okay, but we kind of poor. Like, how you can get this stuff?
Yeah.
So I got a job delivering newspaper.
Okay. Wait. This is elementary.
Elementary school, because my mom said, hey, I cannot just go and buy you equipment. So
Yeah.
we had Radio Shack, which was like Best Buy back then.
Yes.
So I had to get equipment, and my mom and dad had a turntable, like the one with wood.
Yes.
So I put cardboard on them, and then I just practice my scratching. So I learned how to scratch before I learned how to mix. Because I would just grab the record, scratch,
Yeah.
just doing that so I could get the rhythm.
Right, right.
No mixer, just straight scratching, trying to make different rhythms
Yeah,
with it
yeah.
and stuff like that. My parents were not happy. They're like, what are you doing with
turntable.
my Don Ho record?
Oh.
Tiny bubble, jigga, jigga, in the one.
Wait. So even though it was belt drive, or I don't even know what drive it was back then, you were still be
Yeah,
able to
I put
manipulate.
cardboard underneath.
Okay. Yeah.
Cardboard underneath to make it backslide
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I tried different things. I didn't know. I put wax paper because
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was good. Yeah, wax paper is not good. It stucks in the groove. So
Yeah.
when you turn them over, it would
Yeah.
skip. So like, oh, you got to use cellophane.
So
or
did you
something.
save up for the realistic? Or?
I did. I got the 2 realistics and the realistic mixer from Radio Shack. By the time I was 12, it took me 2 years. So by 12 years old, so I used my parents' stuff, just practicing the muscle memory of scratching.
Right, right.
And then by 12 years old, I had my realistic belt drives. Which people don't understand,
They
man.
don't
The struggle
understand.
is real, man. You gotta be really gentle with it, and you gotta push off
Yep,
so it doesn't
yep,
go.
yep.
You can't let go. It's not just pushing buttons.
Yeah.
So you have to have that feel of touching when you backspin or you scratch and you let go. It doesn't go. You know what I mean?
You really got to learn how to catch it, and every turntable in the belt drive is like a different feel, yeah.
Yeah.
So when you push that thing forward, people, if you don't understand, explain to them this real quick, the difference between a belt drive old school turntable and a direct drive.
So direct drive is the mechanical machine it's direct drive. So it like you said, it has more traction,
Or torque,
faster.
torque too,
Torque. Correct. The belt drive is basically on belt. So
Yeah.
when you let it go, it's like a rubber band
yes,
controlling the whole turntable. So
Yeah.
when you let them go, it's like, yeah, here we go. You know what I mean? It's not like direct drive. You can let them go, here we go.
Yeah.
And belt drive is like, you let them go, here we go.
So then what? So explain to them what you got to do to the belt drive to make it.
You gotta help it along.
Right.
So when you're scratching, jigga jigga jigga, here you gotta kind of push it.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
here we go. If not, you don't go jigga jigga. Here we go. It doesn't sound. You're like, what the heck's wrong?
And what about mixing wise, belt drive and
Mix-
direct?
Yeah. So it's more very sensitive. Like you
Yes.
touch them. So you cannot be rough with it. You gotta be very. And turntables. like if you hit the record too hard or you grab it, it'll bounce. So you gotta have a finesse or a touch to it. Like it's like really like
I think
sensitive.
Just like you, I mean, when I seen DJs, my experience was actually at a school dance, and I seen a DJ, and DJs. I feel like the DJs I seen coming up, they had that finesse, and I don't know if it was because they just was that style and finesse naturally, or is it because the turntables made you? You couldn't be sloppy, you couldn't be, you couldn't be shaky. Everything was so sensitive to the touch, and I think that naturally created the DJ to just have this cool like essence, you know what I mean? Where now it's just, I mean, it's technology, you press the buttons and everything like that, you know what I mean? So even though like you were hyper and a spaz, that was the one thing that brought you into like a zone,
absolutely, absolutely. You had to control the touch.
Yeah.
Had to control your, I wasn't really coordinated, but you had to get coordination because you're doing, multiple things at one time.
Right.
And, you gotta know your left from your right. And it did help me, and it did hone that skills of coordination because as a DJ, you had to be able to touch it at the right point, click it at the right point, and the right touch. So there was a lot going on.
So you're doing that in your bedroom, typical bedroom.
In my
DJ?
bedroom, correct. I knew I wanted to be a DJ. So when me and my brother used to live together in the same room until I was about high school, and then my mom gave me my own. I was like, I can't live with my brother. You know what I mean? That's weird. So she gave me her den, her office. And so I took out the bed. I had a futon.
Yeah.
And I took one old the drawer, and I took an old door and put the door on it. And then my room
that's
became
how...
my whole DJ concert, setup. And I know my parents, my brother thought I was weird because I would be like making like I am in my mind. I had like 1,000 people watching me scratch and perform, and they was like, so weird. It's like, but then that's how I came up with the saying: if you stay ready, you never have to get ready.
Hey,
if you envision it, you focus that you're gonna be mixing for 10,000 people, and you're ready for it. When that opportunity comes, you'll be ready. Yeah. And so I always say, success is when opportunity meets readiness. Yes. So stay ready, never have to get ready. Meaning just feel like you're gonna know that you're gonna mix for a crowd. How are you gonna rock that? Yep. Also, when I DJ, I had the philosophy of no matter it's 5 or 500, I mix the same. I perform the same intensity. Throwing your hands up, 5 or 500, I rock them the same because you know what I mean. Not like, I need 5 people. I just gonna get by.
Lazy. Yeah.
So I go all.
So what was your first? Do you remember your first gig? Your first time someone's like, "Hey, you DJ?"
Yeah, first one was actually in front of people was Carol Kanoe's 16th birthday party at her house in Kahalu.
Her name is Carol Kanoe.
Carol Kanoe.
Not Carol Kai.
No, Carol Kanoe.
Oh, like Carol Kanoe? Nah.
Yeah, Carol Kanoe.
Okay.
I
Shout
remember.
out to Carol Kanoe.
Yeah, Carol Kanoe.
That's cool.
She gave me my first gig, man. I mean, I got
What grade was that?
I was 16. I was a junior in high school. So I bought my equipment and everything like that. So I was ready to do my gig, and she heard, oh, you DJ? So I did her Sweet 16 when she was a junior. Okay. And she paid me with a plate lunch.
Let's go.
And I know everybody like, well, that's it. No, you don't even understand that. I was doing this for free in my room. Yeah. So the fact that she gave me a dinner plate, I appreciated that. I was like, thank you. Like I got paid in food, which was what I would have done for free. Yeah, I would have, so, and I wasn't in a circle of friends. Like I didn't really have much friends. I only had DJing. So, So I was really grateful for that. That she did that, and that gave me the confidence to continue to do gigs.
Did that just open up people to be like, "Hey, Derek, you DJ? Like, oh, I never know you DJ."
Yeah, it did.
And then what happened after that? Do you remember like your first like? Did you DJ for like MCs or rappers first, or did you go club route?
So my brother, he was a beatboxer. Okay. And before we could afford...
Who's your brother?
Chili Chill.
Chili Chill.
Chili Chill. They call him Chill.
Okay.
He was a beatboxer first, and I was a rapper.
Right.
And then...
Wait, so did you also at the same time you DJ'd, you rap too?
Yeah,
Because you get on the mic and be like, throw your hands in the air.
Correct. Okay. So he was the rapper. And I was a rapper, and he was a beatboxer. And when I became a DJ, he got into rapping. Okay. He started rapping. So we had a group called H2O, which is Hard to Overcome.
Okay, nice. Anybody else in that crew affiliated?
No, it was me and him. Hard to Overcome. So it was just me and him. And
what year was that?
I would say that was like 86.
Wow.
Yeah, 86. I was 16 and he was 14.
Did you guys know of any other crews?
I mean, yes, there was Club Rock's Rock.
Okay. But they consisted of DJ and MCs.
Yes, the dynamic DJ, which is Dwayne, Lionel L, rapper.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Black Hawaiian,
I heard of them.
right? Black Hawaiian.
Yeah, Black
Lionel
Hawaiian,
L?
correct.
Shout
Yeah.
out.
So I heard about them. Like they were running things because they're from Papakolea.
Rocks, yeah.
I mean town. So
Yeah.
they were, like being in Kanoe, we just feel like the big mountain.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not like
speak on that because before this podcast we talked about I'm doing this podcast. I'm hearing a lot of people from the East Side. Like I never knew it was from the East Side. I'm like, oh man, East Side was popping. But you're like, I don't know about that. Explain to the people like how you felt being in Kanoe. You talked about the mountain and being away from town.
Yeah, so town was where all the dances was, where all the people was. People visiting from the mainland. In Kanoe, we just felt like we were like cut off from the rest of everybody. You know what I mean? Because we have a big mountain, and I know it sounds like, oh, you just drive.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? We teenagers.
And no more H3 either.
Yeah, we're not H3. We don't have cars.
No more car.
You know, I mean, I'm catching a bus for an hour. So we just felt like we kind of did our own thing, Kanoe, and we never had YouTube. We never texted.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I never connected. You telling me all these people is from Kanoe? I'm like, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like we didn't really connect with a lot of people unless they were in our school or in our class. So there was not.
Was
much.
there any other DJs, MCs, writers that went to school with you that you know of?
Yes. So there was a DJ, Crazy Cut, and Crazy Cut, and his name is Kamu. And he just, when he graduated, he said, okay, I'm done DJing.
Hey, give me your records.
Yeah, I'm done. He just, because he got into car sales. His dad said, okay, if you're going to DJ, I mean, that's not going to really make you money. Or he thought.
Yeah, at that
so
time.
he said, but I can offer you a job at my dealership.
Right.
So he wanted to have a nice truck. So he went and worked, and I give him mad respect for that.
yeah.
So talented. That guy was crazy kid, man. That guy was talented.
DJ Crazy Cut.
DJ Crazy Cuts,
Crazy
but
Cut.
I call him Crazy K for
Crazy
short.
K.
And his name is Kamu. And he Freitas. Anyway, he later in life we reconnected, and he was still doing remixes. He would do some projects on my own.
I love that.
And then DJ Sire, Frank Amoto. He's a photographer. People know him as a wedding photographer, but he just got back into DJing. And he was one of my teachers at my DJ Scratch School, which we'll talk about later. Yeah. So that was kind of our crew. Like we hung out together and we go to each other's houses and
practice,
scratch and stuff like that. Yeah, so that was the Kanoe DJ crew.
And what years was this?
I want to say like 86, 87, all into high school. So I went to high school from 84 to 88. Castle.
Yeah.
And then like, I want to say like 85, 86, 87 is when all this was happening.
You're linking up with all the Kanoe DJs.
Yeah,
Kanoe
DJs. Yeah, correct.
Okay. But you guys are still separated from town.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's only us. We hear of people, but we don't know them. We don't know what popping, and stuff like that. And then Breaking Hawaii came on TV.
Okay.
And that was like a eye opener for us because then we saw Johnny J. Jam, who was on Popper. He became the popping champion of Hawaii.
And then that's 88.
87, I think, 87, yeah. And then we heard through the grapevine about the popping convention at Aloha Stadium in 1980.
Right.
I was 10 years old. Wow. I mean, we heard about it, but I never had 10. I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
So it's just the Coconut Wireless is how we heard about things, but we didn't see people. So we had to make up our own popping moves.
Wow.
And of course, the movie Breaking was influencing us and stuff like that. And, later we learned that what the difference between popping, rapping, DJing, and hip hop is. I just thought it was all the same thing. That I learned hip hop is a culture, is a way you live, a mindset. And popping, breaking, DJing is something you do in that culture. Yeah, so I learned. I like, wow, it's the real deal. So I wanted to be a part of that hip hop.
Yeah, a lot of times when I first started this podcast, I would just say like, oh, when did you get into hip hop? But I realized there was no hip hop. It was like, when did you start rapping? When did you start DJing? When did you start writing? When did you start breaking? Because I'm supposed to be from Hawaii. So technically, our mountain that's separating us is a whole ocean.
Correct.
Right? So even though you're in Kanoe and you got to pass the coals or whatever to get to town, we're dealing with a whole ocean, right?
Yeah.
So then I had to refrain. I was like, wait a minute, when did you start DJing? Because the whole terminology, the culture of hip hop didn't come into like I don't know, what do you think, late 80s maybe? It started coming up as, the elements and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So I totally understand where you're coming from, because usually it's like, when I say like, oh, when did you get into hip hop? It's like, oh, there was no hip hop.
Yeah.
In the 70s,
80s, 70s. Yeah, you're right.
It was popping. This is a popping convention.
Yeah, popping convention. It
This
wasn't
is
hip hop
locking.
convention.
Yeah, it was a hip hop convention.
Yeah.
Maybe in New York, the
Right,
Bronx,
right,
there was
but
hip hop.
yeah.
In Hawaii, it's like, no, it's just one element of it all.
correct.
So you had a crew with your brother, H2O.
Yeah, H2O.
And did that last for a while? Did you guys record anything, or that was
So
just...
we did demos. We would take beats from like Run DMC and stuff and make our own raps over that.
Right.
And then later, when I graduated, right out of high school, I was able to hook up with Matt Young, who's a promoter of. He brought on a lot of concerts.
Yeah.
So I was able to get him to let me and my brother open for some acts. You know what I mean? Like the Silies Boys and stuff like that, RoboCop.
Nice.
So we got to do
as H2O,
H2O and stuff like that. But my brother, it was more for fun for him, and I'm all in.
Yeah.
So he went in his own journey, and I went on mine, and I just focused on DJing, and I started making mixtapes and stuff like that, and got a notoriety from Silies, then getting on the radio of Hot I-94.
So how did you get into Silies? Because that seems to be a mainstay in a lot of the OG DJs that I talk to. Silies seems to be a point where they eventually DJ there, ran through there, either b-boy there, dance there. How did your connection with Silies happen?
So you're absolutely right. I think Silies was one of the only clubs that was playing hip hop music or playing rap music.
And this was 80s?
80s, in the 80s. So nobody everybody was playing alternative or pop music, and there was, when I say pop, I mean like Dino and freestyle music and stuff like that, or alternative or house. So Silies was the only one that was playing that. Wow. So I tried to apply like with a mixtape and an application.
Okay, I like this.
And the manager literally told me later that he took my application, dumped it in the trash, and kept the mixtape. He's like, oh, it's good.
No, nice.
Then this is when I learned the lesson. It's not what you know, it's who you know. So
yes.
I worked with another guy called Alan Arato. His name is Alan Arato. He still does marketing for Mai Tais and does stuff in the industry. And I credit him every time I can.
Shout out to Alan.
He called and said, hey, I get this DJ. He's really good. Gave them his blessing to say this guy is like his word. Yes.
Yeah.
I went down and I DJed for Brian, who was the manager, and he hired me on the spot.
Okay, so you went in like anybody for a job. Here's my resume. Here's my mixtape. I want to DJ.
Yeah, I want to DJ. And then the assistant manager trashed my application. He didn't even give it to anybody. He's like, I probably look like a dork, you know what I mean? Spaz. And then...
so how did you meet Alan?
I worked at Rising Star. So there's a recording studio, a karaoke recording studio in Pro Ridge, and he was there, and I worked with him.
Yeah. Wait, you're at Pro Ridge now. How'd you get over the mountain?
Oh, I graduated from high school and I got a car.
Let's go.
Yeah,
what kind of car was that?
It was a Dodge Dart, 77 Dodge Dart.
Oh, that car would be cherry right now, bro.
Yeah, right now.
Right? Funny how that thing
But the gas gauge never worked, so you had to kind of time your
I think this $3 is going to last over to Pro Ridge.
Yeah, the gas tank, the gauge never worked, so.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay, so you're at Pro Ridge working at Rising Star.
Rising Star, right out of high school. And then I meet Alan, and he said, and I have a late birthday. I was only 17.
Yeah.
So I said, I really want to work at Silies. He's like, I know the owner. I was like, yeah. He goes, no, I do. So he made a call. Yeah. He said, hey,
wait, did Alan even hear your mixes?
He did.
Okay.
He did. I let him hear my mixes.
Yeah.
So he did hear me. He did vouch for me. And in fact, we later did promotions together where we we did events called the
Hold on real quick. Who was the DJs at Silies at that time?
Johnny J Jam.
Okay.
Johnny J Jam. They were looking for a fill-in DJ, filler, because James Coles had left.
He went on his boat trip.
I don't even know his house. He became the House of Coles. I think he went to Pink Cadillac, but I don't know what happened exactly, but he left Silies.
Right.
Before that was Ahi and Lisa D.
Yeah, okay.
But was John at the time.
And
he needed a fill-in DJ. And so he was working 7 nights a week.
Oh.
So So I was trying to get in, and so
Alan called and
Alan
bang.
called. I got there, I was mixing, and that's when I met Johnny J Jam.
Yeah.
And like he didn't know, but he was like a hero because he was the popping champion.
Right.
Such an entertainer. He had Johnny J Jam and the Heartbreakers, so he had he would do a full show when he came to his school.
Well, what is Johnny J Jam and the Heartbreakers? I never heard that before.
So he had a bunch of backup dancers. And he performed. He'd do a whole performance. I even think he sang. Like,
I don't know why I'm visualizing like Bobby Brown or something.
yes, like my noodle Bobby Brown.
What?
Yes.
That is next
He
level,
was
bro.
an entertainer. I mean, he plays instruments, everything. He gets so talented. Like, and when I met him, I'm like, oh my God, like I was kind of starstruck. Like, this is Johnny Jam. He was on KISA.
Yes.
He was a popping champion on
Right.
Breaking Hawaiʻi. Like, he's an entertainer. And he was just like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Like, really cool guy.
And he just kind of took you in.
Took me in, but he's like, Spaz, you got to get out of your nerves. Get out of here. Because I was nervous. I was shaking because I'm like, oh, it's the first time I did like for real on club for adults. I'm 17 years old.
Getting paid?
Getting paid, yeah.
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
back then was like $17 an hour. And I know that I don't think that's a lot, but believe me, 17.
Oh, yeah.
The pay back then was like $3.59. Like $3.59. That was the minimum wage.
$17 an hour.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
How come that didn't carry on with inflation?
I don't know.
I think I got paid $17 spinning raves in 2010 because.
Yeah, $17 an hour and a medical.
And medical.
Man, medical. Bruh.
Where's Osna?
So we
Osna always talks about that.
I was DJ.
Wow.
I mean,
so what nights would you fill in for him?
So I would do DJ 2 nights a week. So I didn't get medical as part time. Don't get me wrong. Part time, I would DJ Thursdays and Sundays, or Monday, Tuesdays.
Yeah.
It just depended when it was, but mostly was Monday, Tuesdays during the summer because we was open 7 days a week during the summer, and then off weeks, Monday and Tuesday was closed, so I would DJ Sunday and Thursdays.
Wow. So explain to me your relationship with Johnny J Jam. I mean, I asked you before, like, who was the person that you seen, like, usually there's somebody before you that you look up to.
So I would say he was the closest. I like I said, I didn't, by the time I met him, I knew how to DJ. I didn't have someone I was looking up to, but it would be the closest would be him because he was on the radio.
Yeah.
He was KIC at an AM station playing hip hop. So he would be the closest, I would have to say.
Right.
And then when I got to work with him, I was like, wow, I don't even think he knows this, but I was so grateful because he was really humble.
That's awesome.
He was a really cool guy. He didn't, talk down to me. And he gave me, he's like, you can do this, bro. You got this. I remember, he was about to put me on. He said, come on a Thursday night, and was packed. Silies would be packed lying around the corner.
Yeah.
And I was like all nervous. Like, why are you nervous? Like, dude, there's a lot of people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
If
yeah.
I make one mistake, clear the dance floor. And
Okay, so before that, what was your biggest gig before Silies?
Carol Kanoe.
Ah,
Yeah, I just did backyard
I
stuff.
love
you
it.
know?
I love it. So we went from Carol Kanoe's 16th sweet birthday to boom, Silies.
Silies.
The biggest basic club.
Exactly. I mean, I did probably a couple graduations,
Yeah.
but it was nothing because every time back in the day when they said, oh, the DJ coming on, everybody go home. Like when we set it up, everybody's going home cleaning up.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it was like the I don't know. It wasn't this.
But then, like you were saying earlier, all those times in your room, you're preparing yourself.
Yes, correct.
So when you got on and Johnny J's like, hey, chill, bro, your hands, relax.
Yeah.
So what happened after that?
So I got on and then I made it through. I did the night and he said, I was hey, good, just relax.
Yeah.
And but it was always under his shadow because he was a head DJ.
Yeah.
But then there was an altercation one night at the club.
Yeah.
I don't know. He got into a scuffle with some drunk guys, and unfortunately, he felt like it wasn't a safe place for him anymore.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so he didn't feel protected.
Yeah.
It was jacked up, and he just said, you know what, bro, I don't like be there anymore. Like,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel safe. So
Yeah.
he left the club.
So then
They called me and they said, hey, you
the man.
You're the man. I'm like, oh. And so I was like, and like I said, this is like, by that time, I think it was 89. And I was like, oh, okay. Like,
wow.
yeah.
So when you were there, what other DJs, MCs, anybody else you met that you kind of
James was doing his own thing across the street. He's doing a lot of the House of Coals.
Yeah.
Shoots. I mean, can't even think because a lot of them was just working in the clubs. And
Yeah.
because I was in the club
Right.
or I was underage, I couldn't go into a lot of the
Oh,
clubs.
you're still underage?
Yeah. I couldn't go visit other clubs.
Right.
Because I'm too
this
young
is
to go in. Yeah, I only could go to Silies.
So they hired you knowing you're only 17.
Yeah, back there you can because they just in 1988 made it. You got to be 21 to go to clubs. You got to drink. This
Yeah.
You just
still-
made it.
yeah.
So it's kind of new.
Yeah.
I got my workers permit, so I could work there,
Yeah.
but I cannot drink or anything like that. I
That's
mean,
crazy. So how long did Silies last for you?
to 94, bro.
Oh, 94.
Yeah, I was there from like 89 to 94.
Okay, so 88 to like 94. But we also talked about like you DJing being more than just a club mix DJ.
Right.
Because when I first kind of heard about you and found out about you, I knew you more for cutting, scratching, mixing. I mean, juggling, you know what I mean? Which is for me, I had to go find the VHS, you know what I mean? And like look at it, and then I'm saying, oh, there's somebody here that does that. Oh, it's Kutmaster Spaz. Like, who is that? You know, like I only way to see you, I had to go there, right? So, I mean, for me, I know you for that too, and then your mixing is, your mixtapes too as well later on. But explain to us, like, where does the cutting and scratching and the turntablism come into your?
I didn't even know. It wasn't even, turntablism
Yeah.
wasn't even a word back then. And I would have to say, seeing the movie Breaking with the glove, scratching. Seeing Rocket with the I think it was DMX, not DMX, sorry. Can't think of his name right now, but it starts with a D, the scratcher on Rocket where Herbie Hancock. Just like it fascinated me, like just hearing the scratches and stuff like that. Listening to even Two Live Crew, Mr. Mix, just listening and trying to mimic that. So I just fell in love with scratching and cutting and juggling and watching, like you said, the mix battles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I just loved that part of it. And that's the first thing I did before I could even mix. I was scratching.
Right.
So I just automatically went to that, and I use it as a platform to showcase my skills.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
kind of put you ahead, like highlight you above everybody else. And everybody's mixing, but you could do
right, correct. That would it set me apart from other
set you
people.
apart.
You know what I mean? Set me apart, knowing that I could do that and behind my back and all this kind of different things like that.
Which is, to me, that's huge, man. Like, to me, for a DJ to be able to cut and knowing when to cut is an art in itself. You know what I mean?
I taught a lot of DJs when they finally learned how to scratch, they would scratch all the time. And I would say, okay, here's an analogy. Scratching is a spice. Think of it like pepper or salt.
Yeah.
I said, so your meat and potatoes is your mixing and your music programming.
Yes.
Okay, your meat is your music. Your potatoes is how you program or how you transition.
Right.
So you're scratching your salt. So you're not supposed to be scratching every chance you get, because you're going like that with salt all over it's not going to be good. People
Too salty, bro.
But I promise, all the DJs, even at baby parties, everything, they scratching. I'm looking at them like, what are you doing?
Right.
You know, I mean, even trick mixing, that's for a performance.
Yes,
it's not to show off, look how great I am.
Yeah.
I can do It's Time.
Transitions, just little extra sugar,
Little
spice.
extra, just like spice. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I had to counsel a lot of DJs on that and say, hey, this is more of a spice. And which is why in 2000 I opened up my DJ school.
Wait, before you opened your DJ school, you said you applied and tried out for a battle.
Yes. Well, actually, and in '88 I tried out for the DMC. Is it DMC?
Yeah, DMC. Yeah.
DMC, and I got accepted. And actually, the weird part, I don't know why I just missed it, but I checked the East Coast one. So I was supposed to go to New York.
Oh.
But yeah, even though.
So back then, how did you enter? You sent in a VHS?
You sent a VHS and of yourself scratching and mixing and you mail it in.
Wow. And then you sent it and you're like, okay.
Yeah, and then I got a letter back saying, yeah, you accepted. It's the date, da 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 da.
You don't have that letter, do you?
No.
Oh, love to
You didn't even know. And then I got a letter from Puff Daddy. I mean, I know it's not really good right now, but yeah, I'll tell you about that, about his Biggie's jacket when he.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
no, hold that one. Okay. So you got accepted to battle in the '88 DMC, which any DJs know before there was ITF, before there's all this Serato stuff. DMCs was the battle.
Yeah,
you in that DMC, it's like forever in in the hallways of legendary DJs has gone through that. You know, Qbert, I mean, you can go down the line. But you got in, but you had to make a choice.
I made a choice, work at Silies. I got a job at Silies. If I go, then they would fill my spot. I wouldn't have been able to work at Silies. Like,
Right.
I'd lose my job. So I said, that's okay. I mean, I got one path going, you know what I mean? Like, so I stayed at Silies, which it was, I don't regret it.
Right,
you know
right,
what I mean? I was able to make a name for myself.
Yeah.
And then one day a music programmer, production manager from Hawaiʻi 94 came into the club, said, I've been thinking about doing mixing live on the radio.
Right.
Like, what do you mean? He's like, going live. Like, would you be interested? I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
So we, Silies.
What year was that?
That was 89 or 90.
Right. Okay.
90, I think. And so it was Jamie Hyatt.
Okay.
So I credit him. He was a visionary. I think in the mainland they were doing mix shows.
Live mix shows, yeah.
Live, I think they were doing live, but in the studio, we went live from a phone wire in the club.
Oh, in the club.
In the club, live in the club.
Okay.
So Silies bought the sponsorship, and he just was asking. He was talking story with me, and we went live, and I mixed live in 1990 from the club.
Wow, just you.
Yeah, it was me. I did the whole thing. It was 2 hours. I think it was like 10 to 12.
Wow.
And it's basically a 2-hour advertisement to come down to Silies, and stuff like that. But
so you're mixing live. There is no echo button. There is no sync button. This is straight vinyl.
Straight vinyl, man. Mixer and a vinyl, straight vinyl mixing.
I love it.
Straight in the mix. And then later they realized how great that was, but they know that clubs are not going to always buy sponsorships or. So they asked me to mix outside of Silies on the station.
In the station.
Yeah, station.
Is that when you made the transition to radio?
Yes.
And you left Silies?
No, I was still in
Silies
Silies doing the radio station thing.
Oh, so you're gigging Silies and doing and you started doing on-air radio too.
And when I say on-air radio, it was just mixing.
Right.
It was in Hot 94, it was just mix. So literally I would turn in mixtapes. Like it was mixtape. I didn't go live in a studio.
Okay.
I just turned in a mixtape and they would play it and they would hit sweepers. They go, you're in the mix with Kutmaster Spaz, Hot I-94.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. And it got popular. They saw the ratings went up by this guy, but the mix show portion, like on a Friday night or Saturday night. And so they wanted more.
Right.
So at one point in time in the mid-90s, I had like 7 mix shows on I-94. I was the only guy doing all like it was just me.
Yeah.
Like Johnny J Jam kind of did his own thing. I don't know why he wasn't on. James was doing his own thing, so it was just me. Like I had 7 mixed shows. Like would have the 7 o'clock bomb drop when right before the Loose Crew came on, ALANUI Boy and Jimmy the Geek, they would play from 7 to 7:30. They would play my mix, the 7 o'clock bomb drop. And then at 10 o'clock, they'd play the hot mix party from 10 to 10:30.
Your mix?
My mix. And then on Friday nights, they play the Friday night weekend warm up. And Saturday night street mix party.
And so you had to make new mixes every week.
Every night.
And you're still DJing in the club.
And DJing in the club. But that's how I was working hard. But I got my name out there. It was crazy because I'll be walking to start my gig and I can hear, you understand, I-94 was innovators. Jamie Hyatt was innovator because we were the only one playing mixes. So he's getting everybody ready for Friday. So I hear my mixes on the cars passing by. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy.
That's crazy.
So I'd be in the club and I would go outside and everybody on Hot I-94 lined up on McCully and you can hear it and they bumping the system.
Because y'all going Waikiki.
Yeah, like, well, that's my mixes.
Okay, here's a question I just wanted to ask, okay? Because I know you're master mix. Can you recall your biggest train wreck?
I would have to say probably
like the one that was like the one that just like I just asked this question because to me, like, it's always good to bring it back down to earth, and like times like that make me laugh.
It was when I picked up the wrong needle.
Do you remember what gig or anything that
it was? At Silies. It wasn't a live broadcast.
Okay.
Fortunately, it was a live broadcast, but it was at the peak.
The floor was popping.
Floor was popping, and I was going fast.
Yeah.
And I grabbed the wrong needle and just stopped, and I just looked and froze, and everybody looked at me like, "What the heck?" And I was like, "Uh-oh!" Like, well, how do I recover? So I just dropped the needle back down, and it's kind of like, it kind of continued on, but be the one that I remember that I just picked up the needle. I was like
wrong one.
Wrong one. Back in the day, records used to have scratches on them or dust on them, and they used to scratch.
Yeah.
But how I would recover, that's why I always would be rushing to have a turntable record on the other side in case that happened.
Yeah.
It's the things people don't know nowadays.
Right? No.
When that happened, I would get on the mic and say, "This is why you don't buy your records from Goodwill." so that would be my recovery.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, this is why you don't buy your records from Goodwill. And then I play the next song. Transition. But how you gonna do that when you just pick up and everybody's looking at you like? And I just froze.
Because you're probably in the moment, just going, and then it happens. I just asked that question because I'm like you're Kutmaster, right? There's always got to be a time where you bring it back and be like laugh at yourself.
Yeah, it was this
and be
peak time. I want to say like 1 o'clock in the morning. The place was packed because we opened at 4.
Yeah.
And I just picked the needle and I didn't know what to say. I was just,
so was it hard for you to get the thing back?
Once I dropped it back on, they looked at me, and then I recovered. But that was the one I can remember.
So when did you make a transition, or not even transition? When did they ask you to be an on-air personality?
So,
and what station was that?
It was KQMQ.
Okay.
So I was at Hot I-94 for years, and I mean, this. I don't know if you have time. There's so much things I'm leaving out, but
yeah. That's fine.
Radio clubs wasn't playing, like Silies tried to get away from playing gangster rap music or hip hop music.
So this was like 91, 94.
94. So that's why I left. It was getting kind of funky. Like it wasn't really, there was like wanting me to play Madonna at peak hours. It's like trying to get a different crowd.
Okay.
And so I thought to myself, you know what? You get all these heads that love hip hop, mostly military.
Right.
So I went looking for a club. I got a partner, this guy Mordecai.
Yeah.
And he was African American guy, and we said, "Hey, there's such a need, a supply and demand, because there's no real place that, especially military, can go to." So we found this place in Pro City called Reenie's.
Okay.
And it was at the end of this by Buzz's Steakhouse in Pro City.
Right.
And we created this event on Saturday night called House Wrecker. And we went to the owners and we told them. So we went on a Saturday. I kind of like went to check it out. 80 people on a Saturday. The place holds 400. You know, 80 people look like 8.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's empty on a Saturday night at 12 o'clock. What the heck?
Yeah.
So we went to the owners and I said, hey, and this is probably the first promotions, and I'm putting this on. I'm gonna say it because there's nobody doing. Every club at the time had a promotion director.
Yeah.
So they pay somebody a certain amount of money. Their job is to bring people in.
Yes.
Flyers, radio, whatever. So we went to the club owner and he said, hey, we will bring a crowd in. We will pay for the advertisement. We'll pay for the DJs, the MCs, and the contest money.
Yeah.
All we like is the door, and you keep the bar.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, we don't even charge people on a Saturday, and we got 80 people. You know what I mean? How you gonna charge that? Gonna, I said, don't worry about it. We said, don't worry about it because we believe, because I had a name,
Yeah.
And I said, and to make it so it's safe for you guys, how much you make it a bar on a Saturday? They said, we make about 500, which is really bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
So we'll do a bar guarantee. They're like, what is a bar guarantee?
You're dropping all of it.
Yeah, so they said, what's a bar guarantee? I said, if you only make $300 on a night, we'll give you we'll make it to 500. We'll give you $200.
Yeah.
Okay. So we basically went on Saturday night, and I basically went to Ala Moana on a Sunday promoting flyers.
Yeah.
I got flyer girls. I made mixes, and in the mixtape, I gave them out for free because I used to sell them, but I gave them for free. But in the mixtape, yo, come check me out at House Wrecker, Reenie's Nightclub, Pro City. We're gonna do this Saturday night. Boom. First night we had 300.
Whoa, let's go.
It was nuts, and we got people in the military to pass out flyers on the base.
And this is in Pro City.
Pro City,
away from town.
Waikiki. Tons of parking.
Yeah, I mean, has it never been done?
After that, no, not before that. No,
nobody did
that.
Hip hop.
Nope, it was a
Pro
straight.
City.
Yeah, Pro City.
Always town,
and it was almost like I felt like they didn't want the military because they felt military was going to cause fights and they were hitting on the girls, whatever. Yeah. But I said, bring them. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. I mean, that's, you like a place to come. This is your home.
Yeah.
So we had tons of military. People love hip hop.
Yeah.
and it was
Crack.
and
300 first night.
first night, and
So they made the bar.
oh, easy. And by the time we were done, probably like in 3-4 weeks in, we had 700 people, like standing room only kind. Place that only 400, like had people standing room.
Yeah.
I can't even get to the bathroom. Like it was crazy.
Real quick rewind. What you broke down in like, which is amazing because, you know, I've learned that through the years, and I don't know how to explain it, like promotionomics. I don't know, DJ-nomics. Like you broke down like everything, like the door, the bar, minimum. We'll do the promotions. Like that in itself is, I find fascinating, and it's something learned when you start throwing your own promotions.
Right, correct.
Right, and I don't know if there's a school for that or anything.
There
like
is
that.
not. There is not. I mean, what it's called guerrilla marketing. That's what we did because we didn't have money, so we had to find ways to promote. Like I said, I did my guerrilla marketing was giving out mixtapes on us, having pretty girls pass out my mixtapes.
Hey, that works.
At Ala Moana when they used to do a cruise on Sundays and just passing them out. I would bring speakers and face them towards the ocean and mix at Ala Moana. So people would come by, and say, what's going on over here? Like, you know, they walk in the beach, they walking their dog. We pass out flyers to get to this club. And like I said, within 4 weeks, we had 700 people every
So you're
night.
no longer at Silies.
Nope. I left Silies.
And you're on the radio still?
Still on the radio, Hot 94.
94.
Yeah.
And you're doing the house record.
And the House Record.
How long did house record last?
House Record was...
That's a dope name, by the way.
For 2 hours. Oh, thank you. And it's a play on words. I know James is going to hate me, but we wreck in the house. You know what I mean? No house music.
Yeah.
It's kidding. It's kidding. But it was, I mean, no, it wasn't no like bad or anything. But it's just that we, you know, House Record, that's what it was. And mine was All the Way Live Entertainment. And then my partner, Mordecai, was Vagabond Entertainment. Okay. And I wanted to have him kind of be, a lot of people don't know that I was the promoter of it. I kind of took the back rope because I didn't want them to see a white boy doing this hip hop geared to, you know, military African Americans. Like I didn't want him to think, you know, wouldn't be a good look. So I DJ'd. I got along, but then so he ran the front of the house. I did the back house stuff with the entertainers and stuff like that. So he was the face. So a lot of people think it was him that was his event. They didn't even know I was a partner, and I was coming up with all these ideas on how to promote it and market it and
But that's part of marketing. You're realizing where you fit in and how it can maximize the whole spectrum of the event rather than be like, no. It's got to be Kutmaster Spaz at the front, and I'm DJ, and I'm the promotion, and I'm this. You're like, no, Mordecai, you do this, I'll do that.
It's funny you say that because like the people we brought on board was Doc Rock, JP, DJ Good Vibe, and I would open.
Okay.
Because everybody worked at different jobs and they couldn't get there into like 11, 12. I mean, again, that place closed at 4. So I would open at 9 o'clock to 11.
It closed at 4.
Yeah, closed at 4.
And it was pretty packed too.
Oh, yeah. It was packed. And then so we started like maximizing like, hey, you know, we need food. So we brought in one person to sell food. And we charged them like $200 and then they would make $700. You know what I mean? But we would charge for and they allowed this. They didn't they didn't realize. So if you were 21 and over, you pay 10.
Yeah,
and which is a lot.
That is a lot.
It was $5.
Yeah,
and if you're 18 to 20, you pay $20.
And people still pay.
Paid, and we walk away cash, bro. $10,000 cash a night. $10,000 cash. So after we pay out everybody, I walking away, and me and my partner split.
Yeah,
I walk away with $3-4 grand in my pocket, cash, wads.
Every night you did that.
Every Saturday night, bro. So if you do the math, man, I made a lot of money.
Yeah, tax free. It was a claiming.
I didn't because it was cash. Because we never had that.
Oh yeah.
You're not gonna run credit card for at the door.
In.
So they taking cash. I mean, they can do credit card at the bar. But we did cash. So it's funny. I had to. Thank you for letting me use this platform. But I had to. A lot of people don't know I was probably one of the first promoters in Hawaii that did that. Club promoters, and everybody started doing it after. Everybody started club promoting in the late 90s. But I was like, you guys don't realize, like, I basically came up with the recipe and how to do it. You know, bar guarantee.
That's huge, bar guarantee. And you know what's crazy? I always say this: like, the path to success isn't a secret. It's already laid out for you already. People like you did the house record. People see it. just copy what Spaz did. And it's like that for anything. People ask, oh, what's the secret to this? Or how do I make this? How do I get on? Like, dude, look at the people before you that are successful, follow their journey, and then eventually make your own, right?
Correct. And that the key word is make your own.
Exactly.
I always tell people, you can look at the examples, but then make it your own. Don't try to follow exactly what they're doing because you're always going to be 2 steps behind them. You're always going to be 2 steps. If you're trying to do exactly what they're doing, make it your own. When everybody's zigging, you zag. Okay, that's a good idea. But how can I zag to make it my own? Because that's how I was able to trailblaze. Because, like I said, all clubs had promotion directors. And I thought to myself, all these people that, that want to listen to hip hop, want to have a good time, but the Waikiki clubs are not really letting them in. Like at one point in time, they stopped taking military IDs.
Oh.
Yeah, and they're like, this is a government issue. Like, it's better than the... They said, no, you got to have one state ID. And I'm like,
oh, God.
How are you going to do that? So military ID is accepted. You know what I mean? So
that don't make no sense.
Just supply and demand. And so I went on to that's how I got into promotions, and stuff like that. And then later with my name recognition, I always wanted to give back. I did a mixtape. It was called Spin City.
Right, okay.
And it was...
what year was that, Spin City? I remember
that. was 99.
Okay.
So I was doing the club thing. And then... But before that, I did Spun, which is speaking positive under no negativity.
That's
which
a band.
Yes. So my brother was the one who actually...
So Spun was like, what, 98?
No, 96.
96.
So
House Record's still going on?
House Record's still going on. House Record went from 94 to... It was only about a year and a half.
Oh, wow.
And the unfortunate thing is the reason we had to stop it was because...
Neighborhood.
No, it's industrial, bro. They no neighborhood. One of the owners was embezzling money.
Oh,
so he never paid a liquor bill. He never paid a rent for 3 months. So we came down on Saturday, ready to rock, bro. Chains on the door. We're like, what the heck? And he's like, yeah. So the manager came and was like, yeah. Apparently, like we haven't got paid. I was like, why you guys never say anything?
Yeah. Because you guys are making money.
Yeah, you guys are making bank on, and the guy left for Puerto Rico or something like that. Like he just left with all the money. So they had to shut the club. So I was like, oh, yeah, that was...
So that closed, so that shut down.
That shut down.
Were you doing the band with your brother at that around the same time?
No, so that's when I wasn't doing that. And I was doing so well with the club. I left the radio. Because the radio was... Remember how much time I was like, I don't need radio. I got House Record.
Yeah.
So I was, I basically was like not in radio, not in a club. I was like, holy moly. And then my father passed away that year. And I was like, so I moved back home with my mom to take care of her, help her.
What year was that?
That was 95.
95, okay.
Yeah, 95. So 94, so it was... House Record, I guess it was only a year. I mean, it fell by me. Like I said, I made a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I made a mistake because my friend after, at the end of, in 95, he was like, you should claim what you made because you can be a legit. You're not legit right now. You're like a drug dealer.
No, you're not. You're working. But
I know. And I did, dude. And I basically claimed what I made, and I made 6 figures. So I owed the government 20 grand. Took me 5 years to pay them back.
Just a disclaimer here: we are not giving any advice, money advice, or any kind of tax advice.
I want to be legit. Please. I want to be legit. My bad.
No, that's good. Good, legit is good.
Legit. I wanted to because they're saying you got to claim this is cash. So I did, and I basically the government like, hey, so I had to pay $500 every month for 5 years, bro, until I paid 20 grand back. You do the math. Anyway, but I did.
Okay, so
I did pay them back, but. When I was living with my mom, my brother said, hey, I got an idea I got a rock band I ran into. I like doing rock rap band. And I don't even think was Incubus or Linkin Park was out yet. I don't know when they came, but this is 96.
I don't know, yeah.
I don't know if they had come out yet.
I think there was something out, but I can't really pinpoint.
Beastie Boys would probably
Beastie Boys,
be the closest.
Yeah.
So me and him, we had a group H2O, so we knew how to vibe together.
Yeah.
And we ran with a bass player, a guitar player, and a drummer. and we did Spun.
Yeah,
And we
okay.
ended up doing an album.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But I remember we got club gigs, everything. And the biggest one we got
Nice.
was Warped Tour. We got the Warped Tour.
No way.
Yeah. So I was like to mention that. I
What?
mean, meshing hip hop with rock,
That's
with the
cool,
Warped
bro.
Tour. And I remember was that the wave.
So did you get the Warped Tour gig because of DJ Kutmaster Spaz or separate?
I forget. I honest to God do not know. I'm trying to remember who, if it was Kutmaster Spaz.
Was anybody managing you guys?
No, me.
No.
I mean,
you.
no. Technically, the drummer was doing the bookings.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to handle that part. The drummer was doing a lot of bookings. He the one booked the studio time, the rehearsal time, and all that.
So
good
you were
stuff.
DJing and rapping.
Scratching and rapping, yeah. Like literally, but
Yeah. Your brother was the main MC.
Correct. And so we would do clubs and we
Wow.
get paid. And I remember it was really cool. Shortcut came to one of our gigs at
No
at the
ways.
Wave, and he was like tripping because his rock band rocking out and his DJ slicing
yeah.
to rock music, and he was like, "Wow, this is really cool."
Oh, this is crazy.
Yeah, so that's
How long did the band last for?
from 96 to about a year again,
Yeah,
a year,
about
but
a year
to
again.
96 to 97. Only a year. We move fast. I mean, I like to move fast.
Dude, obviously.
Yeah,
bro, we hit so many things that we missed a lot of things too.
Yeah, so we had the band, but I'm a person that, okay, where are we going?
Yeah.
Now we did Warped Tour. We come out with an album. Now what? What are we going to do? And I felt that they was just like, hey, we just here to party, bro. We just here to party. And I don't do that. I don't smoke weed. I don't drink. I don't.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like, we would go to the rehearsal. It would be like 2-hour rehearsal. What hour was out there in the parking lot,
Yeah.
and an hour was rehearsal. Like,
Can't do this.
I cannot do this, bro.
Yeah,
It's not my
yeah.
thing. It's not my vibe. So I at the Warped Tour, I remember I was telling him, hey, so I'm going to not be in the band anymore. And they're like, wait, what? Like, we just did the Warped Tour. Like, what the heck? It's the last show. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna do my own stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like, like my brother, I think he was really mad at me.
Oh.
Like, kind of like, oh, okay. So he got, he found other DJs. He
Yeah.
found another rapper.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah,
They
yeah.
went on to do other things. But then that's when I started working on a mixtape and utilizing my name as Kutmaster Spaz
Okay.
to help local hip hop artists.
Okay, yeah.
So I made this mixtape using and
What's the name of the mixtape?
Spin City.
Okay, Spin City.
Spin City.
Year
And
was
this was like 98. I started on it.
Okay.
Okay. And what I was trying to do, my vision was we have so much. There's a mountain that divides Kanoe. There's a long highway that divides the west side.
Yeah.
Everybody doing their own thing. My vision as Kutmaster Spaz, by that time, my notoriety, I want to bring all the different hip hop rappers, groups to do one mixtape
Nice,
together
nice.
to make it
Yeah.
hip hop Hawaii.
Yeah.
And so I started doing Spin City, and then Landmark Records
Wow.
heard about it, and we already had recorded some stuff, but was using other people's beats because
Right.
I didn't do everything.
Yeah.
I don't know why people think I do beats. I don't do beats. I can do remixes where I layer
Yeah.
loops, but I don't make beats
Right,
from scratch.
right.
So they said, "This is a genius idea. This could do really
Wow.
well." So they signed me to do this mixtape, no longer a mixtape, an album, Spin City Hip Hop Hawaii.
That's crazy.
And they brought in Big T's.
Okay.
I know Big T's because
Right.
he was an urban joint. I
Yeah.
DJ'd with him a couple times, stuff like that. So he jumped in and he was the producer on the album.
Right.
But he used my name, Kutmaster Spaz.
Right.
And I basically was the person that went out and talked to all the hip hop groups.
Okay.
My brother was on it.
Yeah.
All kind of people, just even T's was on it, Big
Right.
T's. All kind of people from everywhere that you would never think would be on the same album.
Yeah.
It was a collaboration. I
Right.
think that was the first one ever in Hawaii that was a collab.
pretty
So that was
sure,
my
bro.
vision.
Yeah.
Spin City. And so we were done by 1999.
Original beats or still?
Yeah, so T's,
Okay.
T's is talented. I don't know if you gotta have, I know
No, yeah.
he's
It'll-
in Vegas, but
yeah,
that brother
he'll
can
get there, he'll
rap,
get there.
entertain, sing,
Yeah.
make beats. He's a great
So he
broadcaster.
produced the whole thing.
Yes, he produced. He did all
Okay.
the beats for the whole Spin City.
Yeah.
I rapped on it.
Right.
He helped me write a lot of my stuff because
Is that anywhere on the?
so it's on Amazon.
Oh.
You can buy it on Amazon. Somebody's selling it, reselling
What,
it.
$100?
Yeah, and in Japan, 500 yen. I don't know what that is, but so now
Wow.
because, and I didn't even realize at the time, I just was trying to say Spin City Hip Hop Hawaii,
Yeah.
or Hawaii, so it's from Hawaii. I
Yeah.
didn't realize that in Japan that's huge.
Right.
So they put it on auction. It goes in auction, like whoever you can get. So we sold 10,000 copies in Hawaii.
Yeah.
It was back then, and that's a lot. That's
Yeah.
like 100,000 now.
Yeah.
It was 10,000 of this Hawaii hip hop mixtape.
Was it a tape or CDs at the time?
CD. It was a CD.
Okay.
And it said Spin City Kutmaster Spaz presents Spin City Hip Hop Hawaii.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be, something that is united, and it worked, and it won a hip hop album of the year at that time they had Hawaii Music Awards,
Right.
which was helping all the genres that wasn't Hawaiian or Hawaiian.
Yeah.
So I won a best album of the year, hip hop album of the year for hip hop for Spin
Nice.
City. In 2000,
Okay.
2001, but it came out in 99. We made a couple music videos, which I cannot find. I've been looking.
Well, who has the videos?
I have one DVD that's in storage that I've been looking for, but there's none on YouTube. But we came up with a video.
Who's in that video? Is that like the main
So
song?
there's Solana, who
Okay.
is one called The Finest. He looped SOS Band, this
Nice.
song called The Finest.
Yeah.
And then me, Big T's, and Solana. Then there's another one called Jibba Jabbe, which
I remember
was
that.
which was Chris Styles was in that
Okay.
group. The
Was
group-
that the Tiki guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Later they became Tiki,
Tiki.
but this is a landmark, same
Yeah,
place,
yeah,
everything.
yeah, yeah.
Later became Tiki.
Shout out to everybody.
Yeah,
from Tiki.
Tiki. I think Samson did some.
Yeah.
That
Shout out to
Samson was
Samson.
on.
Shout out to
Samson
Samson.
was so they was hanging out. Spooks was
Okay,
hanging
Spooks.
out.
Spooks Kahuna.
Yeah, Spooks Kahuna was hanging
Shout
out in a
out.
parking lot,
Okay.
and we heard they rap, and I put him on the album
Yeah.
too. Yeah, that whole that's another.
No, those guys
that's
are nice.
another hammer.
Yeah, that was
Like I
yeah.
said, we never know with Kanoe. I didn't know this
Yeah,
hammer.
yeah.
Spook Kahuna was dope, and he's a dope
dope.
writer,
Yeah,
rapper,
yeah.
and producer too
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
But he was on the album, so I just put anybody I could find, like a melting pot mixtape,
right.
and it did really well. Sold 10,000 copies. My cut was $1.25 a copy.
Right.
Okay, so if you do the math, that's how much? 10 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Oh no. What?
there was an album they released beforehand called Road to Fame, which is supposed to be like a spin-off of Brown Bags.
Okay.
And they did that. They got local talent
Yeah.
to come up with this album. And Olinda Road,
Yeah,
which is
distributor.
the distributor,
Yeah.
fronted the money
Okay.
for that.
Yeah.
That album bombed.
Right.
They took the money that was owed on that album from my album sales. Same company, sorry.
Oh.
So all the money I would have got is like, okay,
Yeah.
this album bombed, but this album did good. So what you owe us, we taking. So I got nothing. Yeah, I got no money.
That doesn't make wait. But you weren't affiliated with that first album at all.
Not at all. But that's how it works. I mean, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, shout out to Ty. Like, he gave me the opportunity to be on a major platform,
Right,
come out
right.
with music videos. So I'm not, but that's what happened. Because everybody like, oh, you got paid. You
Yeah,
should
yeah.
still be getting paid. No, you don't understand. Like, things like that. That's
Yeah.
it happens. And there's nothing you can do. And I'm not going to be like, Ty, you owe me $10,000.
But no money came out of your pocket to make that. At
No,
least.
correct.
Okay,
That's
okay.
why I'm
Yeah,
okay.
okay,
Because
whatever.
he fronted
Right.
my money in the studio time,
Right.
and stuff like that. So, I never lost
Right.
any money. I was able to unite all these rappers.
Okay.
I was able to, put out something that for me I thought was a legacy of combining, hip hop.
Yeah, this was 95.
99.
No, 99.
Yeah, 99.
Okay.
Yeah, and then later I came up with another album in the 2000. In 2000, I said, hey, now I try something different. I want to try and do more like instruments. So I hooked up with Hawaiʻi.
Right.
And in I think 2003 we released another album called React for Him. And by then I found God. In 2000 I found God. So it's called React for Him, which is React for God.
yep,
Like everything
yep.
you do is positive.
Word.
So I was in the I did that album, and that actually album won hip hop album of the year too as well.
Oh, nice.
Just being different out
Yeah.
of it was
yeah.
I was always trying to be different. Shout out to Sonny Kapu who helped me.
yes.
Aaron and Brother Sam and all the rest of the guys from Hawaiʻi for believing me because they backed me. They
Right,
became
right.
the label.
Yeah.
And backed that and that did well too. But like I said, the Spin City one is still getting traction in.
That's awesome.
Like people auctioning them off.
Japan and UK, Europe, for some reason they love Hawaii hip hop.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they even found out about it. Or maybe it's just Hawaii in general.
Yeah, I think the Hawaii.
Yeah.
The Hawaii.
But real quick, let's get into when you had an idea to start a scratch school. And what year was that?
Okay, that was 2000.
2000.
So the idea was in
So Spin City was 99.
99.
So you started thinking
yeah,
about...
I thought to myself, because I was like, I would want to elevate DJing.
Right.
Like do a DJ school.
Yeah. So you already just kind of elevated Hawaii hip hop MCs.
MC, correct.
MC.
With Spin City,
Yeah.
correct. And then I said, I want to elevate DJing. So I want to come up with a DJ school. So
Yeah.
I basically, I've had a friend, Jason Ulip, who owned Hyper Squad in
Nukon.
yeah. In YPO. And they had like an attic.
Okay.
So I asked him, I said, hey, if I pay rent, like how much do you charge me? And he said, oh, whatever's, give me whatever's. And so the only thing that sucker was hot was on warehouse.
Oh,
and we were on the top. So
Yeah.
all the heat from the dancers dancing downstairs was hot.
Rise, yeah.
Was hot. So we had tons of fans. I invested more in fans than turntables. But so I had 12 turntables, had 5 DJ setups, and we built out like cubby holes, and then we had the main instruction. I wish I gotta go look for pictures, but yeah, it was called Universal DJ School because I wanted to everybody, no matter what music, universal is universal. And part of the classes we had was scratch classes.
Nice,
like we teach people how to scratch, and that's when I brought Frank Amoto, my friend DJ Skid.
Yeah, shout out to Skid.
Yeah, DJ Skid, 1020.
Yes.
Who else? So all these DJs who scratch, I say, hey, teach scratch. He's
Yeah.
like, how do you teach? I said, just show how you show your friend
Yeah,
and
yeah,
show
yeah.
me how to scratch. That's what you do. So yeah, all these kids learning. And then Qbert came for a show. And I had met Qbert a while back because he came down, and then the promoter, which is Joe Ho, said, hey, Spaz, can you take them around?
Real quick, who's DJ Qbert?
So DJ Qbert is a legendary DJ who is like the creator of scratches. And you might say, what do you mean? Okay, imagine somebody can create a new key on a keyboard or a guitar. That's what he does with scratches. He made up scratches. So he's like a scratch god, like a legend. Because he made up scratches, the crab scratch, the flare, all this kind of stuff. He just gives it names. We were just doing baby scratch and just, easy cutting scratches, but he went and just innovated scratches and basically won competitions by just scratching.
Him, his crew, ISP, Scratch Pickles.
Yeah, Visual Scratch
all those
Pickles.
guys created pretty much the library of scratch.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like it was just basic scratches. So Qbert is a epic DJ who just goes around the world scratching as
he's a Filipino.
Yeah, from San Francisco.
From San Francisco.
Yeah.
So
from San Francisco.
People walking on the street, you could think he's from Kali.
yeah. So when he came down to do a show, the promoter Joe Ho said, hey, Spaz, can you take him around? Because you got to have a passenger van. I only have vans that carry equipment. So I took him around. We became friends.
Nice.
I turned him on to poke. He didn't know what poke was. So every time we'd come to Hawaii, Spaz, you can go get poke.
Yeah.
So he loves sushi, but he was blown away by poke.
Yeah.
I met his business partner, manager at the time, Yoga Frog.
Shout out to Yoga.
Yeah. And then so when they came to ironically, they came 2000 and they came to and Qbert was like, bruh, I think this is the only school for scratch DJs. I mean, New York, they have the mixing where they teach you how to mix like a club DJ.
Right.
But nobody teaches scratching. This is crazy. And so he deemed it. He said, you're the world's first scratch DJ school.
Wow. I mean, you had DJ Skid there, so come on now.
Yeah. And I was like, wow, thanks. And he goes, you know what? And Yoga Frog, the businessman he was, said, hey, what if we open Scratch University? I go, what do you mean? He goes, I want to partner with you, I fully respect it because they were buying houses here, doing real estate. I mean, believe it or not, people don't know they're smart businessmen.
Oh yeah,
so they scratch and they have a lot of brand needles. But their main money is real estate.
Right.
So they were coming to Hawaii a lot. So he said, Spaz, we will fund it. You run it. And when Qbert's in town, he'll do shows or come in but you run it. And they're going to financially back me, use my concept, and open Scratch University. Well, then YouTube came along, and they were like realizing we don't really. I mean, because they were doing DVDs, but the internet can hit the world, like not just Hawaii.
Right.
Because they were thinking people were going to fly from Japan,
which they would,
to come.
They
we
would
do packages. They learn how to scratch. And so they said, yeah, we're just going to do the YouTube route, which is fine with me. Just the fact they even considered having me as a partner working with me, using my idea and concept. I mean, they could have ran off and did their own thing, but they said, hey, we want to partner with you,
Respect,
Spaz.
yeah.
You're good peoples.
Right.
And so I have nothing but respect for them. And so they went off, and I think they did Scratch University on YouTube, or
Yeah.
they made a series you could buy or something like that.
They made a whole university.
Yeah, correct. So I was just tickled pink to know that they considered me to be a partner with them doing this, seeing my concept and stuff. And I think I have pictures with Cubert them at the DJ school and stuff like that.
You gotta find those pictures.
Yeah, I gotta find those pictures. I know it's hard because people ask me, you say you met Jamie Foxx and Dr. Dre and all those kind of people, and you work with MC Hammer. I don't want pictures because we never have camera phones.
Yeah.
You would have to literally tell them, hey, take a picture. And when you're working with this artist, you got to remember, it's like your coworker or your classmate.
Right.
You don't be like, hey, out of nowhere, can you take a picture of me?
Yeah.
That's just weird. You don't do that. That's fanboy.
Start up your camera.
Yeah. Can we take a picture? And we never do selfies.
How did you end up working with all these famous people? Who are some of the famous people you work with, since we're going that route?
So what happened was, one of the DJs for one of the shows couldn't make it.
Okay.
And the promoter was Matt Young.
Yeah.
I mentioned him. He had Hawaiian Island Productions, HIP, and he would bring on groups. And one of the DJs couldn't make it.
Right.
So he said, Spaz, can you jump up and mix?
Yeah.
So I mixed for shows, and he thought to himself, hey, I just saved because the DJ couldn't make it. I just saved myself like 10 grand because he got to pay the DJ, he got to put him on, fly him in. So he started using me for all his shows, MC Hammer, Ice Cube, and the other promoters heard that.
Yeah.
And then they started hiring me because they see that I'm a performing DJ.
Yeah. You're rocking the crowd before they even get on.
Correct. Warming up the crowd. So I started getting like Cypress Hill, Lauryn Hill,
what?
all these people. I get to meet all these people, work with them, and I
amazing.
go up and just tour. Marky Mark, when he had his song "The Funky Bunch," all the islands, we had Maui, Kauai.
Oh, you jumped on and you did everything with them. In
Yeah,
Hawaii.
yeah, and then Lighter Shade of Brown.
Oh,
I don't
nice.
remember that, but yeah.
LSOB?
So they didn't have a DJ.
Wow.
So when he came to Honolulu, they were like, Spaz, DJ for us. So I would DJ for.
So the word just got around, like Spaz is the guy in Hawaii.
Yeah, Hawaii, correct. I was like the point of contact for so like, oh yeah, no worries. And then Rico Suave.
Nice.
I don't know how to throw that name, but yeah, I DJ for him.
That's dope, bro.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm sure there's a lot of women around.
Yeah. They probably don't know. But anyway, House of Pain, like that, sometimes they're
Danny Boy.
Yeah, couldn't make it.
What?
Or Jim Muggs couldn't make it.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so this happened
Hey,
because
Spaz.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so dope.
Yeah, so I did jump on, play the tracks, or scratch or open for them.
So back then they had the instrumentals on vinyl, like acetates or something.
Correct.
Okay. Or they used
that.
that.
Yeah, they had that. So the song played that, or like you said, the instrumentals on vinyl.
So you'd meet them at soundcheck. It was
Yeah.
up. Come after
What's
Spaz.
up?
It was up.
Yep.
House of Pain. Okay.
And it
let's
was
go
just
through
like
the set.
that, like hang out.
But I mean, you being a performer, a professional MC, all that stuff, you knew, like you said, when to cut, when to instrumental, when to jump on, right? You know what I mean? So I think just that in general is sort of comfort for them to be like, yeah, Spaz is the guy.
Yeah.
But what about that? Someone, I was telling me a story about a jacket that was Biggie's.
Yeah, Biggie's jacket.
Biggie's jacket.
Basically, when I was in radio and Hot 94 back in the 90s, a lot of people don't know this, but I broke the rules. When you're radio, you gotta in mainstream radio, you gotta play what they tell you to play.
Right, of course.
So they tell you play Sweet Sensation, Cover
yeah,
Girls,
yeah.
Dino, all this kind of stuff. Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
I would break the rules in my mix show and slip in some Biggie.
Yes.
And how it came about was
What track did you slip in?
Juicy.
Okay.
So
Which is
Diddy
played on
was-
like the kind soft rock now.
Diddy was at Uptown Records.
Okay, yeah.
MCA.
Right.
He discovered Mary J. Blige.
Right.
So he called me up and said, yo, Spaz, because that's what they do. They're his record reps.
Right.
They're to push, hey, can you play Mary J. Blige? And he said, hey, I'm going to break away. I'm going to start my own record company called Bad Boy. I got this new artist.
Wait, he called you up.
And I have a letter. I had a letter.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because it was like puffy, you know?
Yeah.
So he sent me a letter with the record. Like, we came with the record, thanking me for...
Yeah.
For
So he's A&R in Uptown at this time.
Correct.
Jodeci, Mary J.
correct.
Groups like that.
Yeah, Heavy D.
Heavy D.
Yeah, stuff.
Yeah.
So he's the A&R, but he said, hey, I'm going to leave. Ludacris used to call me too, by the way.
So crazy.
He was at Def Jam. He
Yeah.
was the A&R at Def Jam. Anyway, so he said, I'm going to leave. I'm going to send you a record. Can you play it? He might be hardcore, but you know what I mean. It's Biggie Smalls, and he's rap name was Biggie Smalls. But I don't know if you know this, but somebody copyrighted Biggie Smalls.
Right. A country guy or something. Yeah.
Yeah, from Florida or something like that.
Yeah.
But so he couldn't take. He had to go by Notorious B.I.G. So I got in the mail with a letter from him, signed by him, by Diddy, and I played it, slipped it in like later, like juicy. You know.
Do you remember what was the lead up and the lead
I think
out?
it was like on Bobby Brown record.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like Bobby Brown.
Right.
I don't know. I forget. But
Here's
I
a
dropped
DJ question: how much BPMs is Juicy?
94.
Let's go.
I dropped it in and stuff like that, and I forget. I dropped it in, and you got to report it. So you write.
Yeah.
And then they have a BTS,
Okay.
which is not.
What is a BTS?
So it's
radio?
beta, BDS, BDS, beta broadcast data system.
Okay.
So it tracks.
Right.
And you report it. So I reported it to because I was in the radio. You report to magazines.
Right. Yeah.
And I reported that I played it. I was one of the first DJs in the nation to play Biggie because it was like a ghetto record.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Dark. You know, you don't play it on
But
pop
Juicy
station.
is so friendly.
It is.
I mean, to us,
to
in
us,
those
but
days.
It was. You know, what I mean, it was all a dream.
Yeah. Imagine if you played the other side. Oh, jeez. Okay.
So I did that, and I started introducing more hip hop.
Okay.
To
And you never got busted yet.
I did. I got talking to many times, but then it picked up traction, and I got forgiven.
Of course.
In fact, at one point in time, when I was really, you know, when they trusted me to this radio station,
Yeah.
and I know this might sound crazy, but what I did was I brought other DJs on. So I had a Saturday Night Street mix.
Right.
And instead of saying for 2 hours, it's going to be on me.
Yeah.
I already was mixing every other night. So I made the Saturday Night Street Party where I brought in other DJs.
Yeah.
And what I was trying to do is bring DJs from clubs or wherever.
Yeah.
So Sub-Zero, Drama,
yeah.
DJ Dream, just let them have their half hour.
Yeah.
And I told them, I said, okay, I know you're going to be mad, but you can do one or two of your own songs.
Yeah.
But got to stay with this for two reasons. So you're not playing the same things.
Yeah.
Two, this is what they request that the station got to play. But they were just so happy that they got a chance to be on mainstream radio.
That's
so
huge.
So I did that for them. I want to say that was probably 93 or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, so I put there a lot of, and one of the few is Drama that remember Sub-Zero say, bro, I never forget, bro. You put me on. I was just on nightclub DJ or backstreet DJ. I don't even think they were at a nightclub at the time. Just giving them that opportunity. So they're forever grateful, and I really
Shout
appreciate
out to
that.
Drama,
Yeah,
Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
I'm getting them on soon.
Okay, yeah,
for sure.
Yes.
But anyway, so you played the.
I played that, and then
Juicy.
then I got recognized by Hitmakers magazine because they say, "Bro, this cat in. Hold on, you playing some bangers. Like he picking them." You know, like the stuff I was playing was hitting number one.
Yeah.
Like I report them before they hit number one.
Wow.
Now I hit number one.
Yeah.
You know, so I became Mixer of the Year in 1996.
Insane.
Mixer of the Year. So they flew me to New York.
What?
Went to Bad Boy.
Right.
Because Diddy's like, oh, you in town, come down. So I went to Bad Boy. Biggie gave me a jacket.
What?
And he did one drop for me.
What?
Yo, this is Notorious B.I.G. You're in the mix with Kutmaster Spaz.
What?
Not much. Now you got AI, so you can do that. But I have him originally saying that, and he didn't do drops for people.
Yeah.
He didn't do drops. So I'm one of the few probably in the world that has drops. They're going, yo, it's Notorious B.I.G. in the mix with Kutmaster.
And you met him, like, how was, like,
he was just cool. I mean, it was just a quick one. Again, stupid me. I didn't take picture. Sorry.
Yeah.
I get on jacket, but
Yeah.
I get on big. It was a 6X. 6X is his size.
Wait. He gave you his jacket.
Yeah, and his Bad Boy on it, and 6X.
Bro.
So first I used
That's
to.
like Sotheby's selling that.
So I would
like,
just be walking around the house playing Biggie songs and stuff, and then when he passed, I was like, "Ooh, I better not." Like, but
you still got the jacket.
Yeah, I still got it. I was like, "Oh, I better frame this." So I ended up framing it. Yeah, I framed it because then I wanted to always make sure I had it because I was walking around the house every once in a while, walking out, showing other things draping off me. So yeah.
Man, that story's huge, bro.
Yeah, I do have the jacket. I can show proof. I will text you.
Please.
I'll
text
show
me.
you.
Text me the jacket. I want to see that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you have a lot of other stories.
Yeah, I do.
But I mean, I want to get to before we close up because this is very important. Like this and that. I mean, I know you have a lot. I mean, we have to talk about so much. But I want to get to this really quick because you provided a lot for Hawaii hip hop with that show that people might not accredit it to because of where it was aired and how you had to, work within the bylines of OC16. Correct. So what year did you start this and that?
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. That's the shoes coming from you, man. I know you're a true head. So thank you. 2003 to 2018. So I had that for 15 years. And the reason I wanted to start that was to this and that was I got an opportunity. I was going to do, I'm going to do hip hop Hawaii. Right. Am I going to do DJ Hawaii? Am I going to do, I wanted something that could be a little bit of this, a little bit of that, hence this and that. And I wanted to show the unsung heroes, the people who give back to the community that people might not know, whether it's teachers, coaches, mentors, businesses that can afford to pay $5,000 a month on a mainstream station, and local hip hop artists. Right. In particular, because we didn't have a mainstream and shout out to Jimmy Taku that was doing the Mind Tactics. Yeah. But there was no videos you could see, you know what I mean, that was being on mainstream TV. So I started this show and I did not charge anybody to be on the show. Wow. Everybody was on, except for Anuhea. I'm not kidding. That's one thing I feel bad because I had to go Maui. You know what I mean? So I had to pay. So I just want to sit. I don't want to go. I paid you. Yeah, you did because I had to fly to Maui. But anyway, everybody else, they gave me a video. We even had helped them make videos. Yeah, for
that's
free.
what I've noticed. You made it looked like you made the videos for them. For them,
correct. We help artists like IA, Planny, planning artists. I can't too much to mention. People always tell me, "Oh, I was on your show." Like, I forgot. Sorry, but we just want to give a platform because they had Overdrive Live.
Right.
That was all island music.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be.
I love Overdrive Live. By the way. I mean, honestly.
But I want to give a platform for hip hop artists. And not only hip hop, even rock or even reggae that didn't make it on Overdrive Live. So that's what I did for 15 years. They could come on, they could promote their album, promote their music, and I didn't charge any. It wasn't like, okay, we're going to make a video and it's a package and stuff because I know hip hop artists no money, you know what I mean? So if we did, it was really minimal just to get, if they had to hire a camera guy or whatever, but most of the time we did it out of love to help the hip hop community.
I mean, IA and Osna seem to be the ones that took that torch and of what you offered and pushed it to the next level. Yeah. I mean, because I always tell people, Hawaii, we wait around a lot. Bombay, next time. And then someone gives you a hand up, but it's like you got to take that baton and run with it. But I mean, did you see something in IA especially and how big he got at Osna and how talented that guy is?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I did. I mean, it's a quick story, but I did not know that Osna's dad is Stingray.
Right.
Legendary bodybuilder in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I didn't know IA's dad was the Hawaiian Punch.
Oh, two hammers right there.
You know what I mean?
1, 2.
So when it's funny because when I went in to meet with them, the dad was there. I mean, IA's dad.
Yeah.
And he wanted to meet me to make sure that I was legit. And I could take this. Yeah. Like we met at distant offices in Kaimuki. And I think this was like 2005. And he wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to take his son for a ride or whatever.
Yeah.
So he shook my hand, looked me in the eye, and said, "Make sure you take my son." And I said, "I will."
The Hawaiian
Thank you,
Punch.
sir. Yeah, bro. I think that's the most admirable thing that a dad would do to make sure his, because I'm sure he's been, swindled and stuff like that. So I did. I took IA under my wing, and he listened to me to a lot of things that I had.
Yeah.
He always was grateful. That's one thing that the Hawaiian Punch taught IA was humility, because he always would thank me out of the blue. Thank you. Thank you, Spaz. I truly appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much. Thank you. You always say that. And people don't realize how far that goes just to look at it and say, "Hey, thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. I really appreciate it." And to this day, IA always thanks me. Osna, I met him late. He brought in Osna, and I was at his house. I was scratching, going for it. Yeah. And his big hammer come in called Stingray. He's like, "I got to get up early tomorrow." I was like, "Oh my God, that's Stingray. He's going to break me in half." But he's like, "This is my dad." Osna.
Osna's like, "This is my dad." We're like, "Oh, no, that's Stingray, bro."
And Osna, he's another so talented, good businessman, rapper. I mean, one day he say, "Hey, is it hard to DJ?" And I was like, I mean,
that's what he told you.
Yeah, he said he's a hard DJ. He goes, I try it.
I like try it,
bro. Next time he rip. I'm like, because he understands music, the beats.
Yeah,
it's easy for him to transition.
Yeah.
If you're a musician, you can DJ. You just gotta understand the counts, what's on beat and what's not. So he just like went well, like, because one day he's like, I think I want to DJ. But that's just how Osuna is. He helped me build out the studio at Marino.
Yeah,
and he says, I think I like lay floors.
He
looked on YouTube how to do it. He laid the floors.
Oh, that's crazy,
bro. He's just like that. He's very innovative.
He is by far one of the most talented individuals I know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Very very cool guy too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, we had a group for a little bit.
Oh,
yeah, we paid homage to the old school hip hop from freestyle to Cool and the Gang and stuff like that.
What's the name of the group?
Hawaii 5-0.
I remember the video.
Yeah, Hawaii 5-0. So we redid, instead of Don't Stop the Rock, we did Don't Stop the Hawaii Rock.
Okay, yeah.
What People Do for Money, we did that. And then we did a couple original songs. It's playing homage to the old school 80s hip hop. Yeah, we were in a group together just for fun. I mean, we can't really release it for money because it's all sampled stuff. Yeah, but you can look on YouTube for that.
Yeah. But Spaz, man, I got to get you back on. So this will be part 1 for sure.
Okay.
Part 2 will happen because there's way more questions and way more things we didn't get to cover. But before we wrap up this one, you got anything, any words of wisdom, anything to say before about Hawaii hip hop, about your journey, anything?
Find your passion. I mean, whatever you do, DJing saved my life and it led into a whole career that I was able to provide for my family. Don't let anybody say you can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just believe in yourself. I always say conceive, believe and achieve. Conceive your dream, what you want to be. Yeah. Believe in yourself because nobody's coming for you. You got to believe in yourself and achieve it by putting a plan in place because a dream without a plan is just a dream.
Yeah. And wait, real quick. What about Hawaii hip hop and like for the Hawaii hip hop people, DJs, MCs? What would you give them specifically to make it? Because Hawaii's still kind of in a, we haven't really cracked that
I
seal,
really
right?
think we are got to continue to find our sound. And trying not to mimic other people, other coasts or finer sounds, which I think in Sun and Rush, they were pretty much the closest to that in finding who we are, our identity in hip hop. I mean, I know a lot of times we try to mimic what the others do, but we just don't. If we can find our sound, find your own sound, whether you're putting epos in your in your songs or rapping in Hawaiian or Japanese, whatever. Find your sound. Like that's what I would say to Hawaii hip hop is everybody's zigging, you zag.
Nice. And that's it. ALANUI MELE, Kavet the Catalyst, DJ Kutmaster Spaz, PBS Hawaii. Don't sleep.
Mahalo for listening to ALANUI MELE on PBS Hawaii. Introduction beat by Just One O. You can listen to ALANUI MELE on all streaming platforms and check us on social media at PBS Hawaii or www.pbshawaii.org.